My next guest is known for exploring the whole big, wide world from there, the depths of the Sahara, to more recently, that 1,000-mile trip through Iraq. And tonight, Sir Michael Palin is back with a brand new adventure. This time, he's in Nigeria.
Alligator pointing at me, a lot of drumming, a lot of people with spikes through their tongues. I don't know what it all signifies. Knives are quite important. What is he going to do with this? Licking the knife. Everything we're told not to do. Oh, wow.
I'm told these blades are razor sharp, but magical forces prevent them from drawing blood. Not that I intend to put this to the test myself.
Michael Palin joins me now. Always a joy to see you.
Thank you, yes.
Loved the show. I was lucky enough to get a preview of it. What an interesting part of the world. I learned so much.
Well, it's one of those places that everybody knows about Nigeria, but very, very few people have been there.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's 220 million people there. It's the biggest population in Africa. It's the richest country in Africa. And yet, you know, we don't know anything about it apart from Nigerians who come and work over here. And a lot of Nigerians work in the health service or in banking, all sorts of things.
Yeah.
We know Nigerians here, but we don't go out there very often ourselves. So it was a bit of a challenge.
No, it very much was. And it's that thing of you take us by the hand and you show us the real people that live there.
Well,
and the more you do that, this is the thing, when I watched you over the years, the more you do that, the more you realise we're actually all kind of the same, really, underneath it all.
Yeah.
People are, you know, the reaction that people have to you is always the same.
Well, that's it, really. Most people, there's a universal sort of feeling about life, which is just, you have children, you bring them up, you educate them well, you try and keep healthy, check your poo, all that sort of stuff, you know, and that's kind of, that is universal. Those are things. As soon as you get politics comes into it and you get sort of, you know, army and weapons in, then the whole thing becomes very strange, and I don't begin to understand that. But I try to understand people on the street. Yeah. The great thing about Nigeria, apart from just the generally jolliness of it all, they do speak English there. So unlike North Korea and Iraq, we were able to have conversations. Of course. And jokes.
Oh, and they would tell you. I mean, people speak their mind.
Yes, they do. I mean, we are very sort of careful about how we... Would you mind passing the tea? Something like that, you know. And the come on, man, what do you want?
I know, I quite like that directness.
They're very direct.
Yeah,
and I like that.
I do too.
And you think you're having an almighty row with them for about 30 seconds, and then they put their arm around your shoulder and you're best mates.
It's fine.
It's a very liberating place to go. Liberated me from my little English reserve.
No, that's good. Yeah. But that's what it's that thing of you're us when you go away to all these different places. Yeah. And like you said, you know, Iraq. I mean, you know, chances are none of us will be able to go there or North Korea. But you just kind of open that window for everyone. Yeah. It's that thing because we're all curious about the world.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing to do is to be open and honest about how you see a country. And if you're confused, show that you're confused.
Yeah.
If you can't speak the language, show you're trying to struggle. But you will always find an upside to it because people want to welcome you. In most of the world, people like to be hospitable. Yeah. They want you to see their country and the good things about it. They don't want to see the bad things. So, you know, I always think there's a rapport there that I find very encouraging whenever I go out. And it's important to get away from your own country every now and then, see things from a different perspective.
Absolutely, of course. Yeah. And then you're educating yourself all the time, which is great. And that's what you do so well. The other great explorer, of course, is Sir David Attenborough. Now, are you two pals? Are you rivals? Are you friendly rivalry? What's going on there? What would you say?
I would say we're pals, really, over the years. I've got to know David. I mean, he was there at the BBC when we first did Monty Python.
Of course.
And when all the Pythons were grumbling about put on late at night and you're taken off slot in the Midlands or something in the middle of the night, he would say, well, you're going to be a cult one day. And he was dead right.
He was.
And he's got a great sense of humour, David. We have a lot of laughs when we meet up. And I once impersonated him in a Python sketch. Yes, I was going through the jungle.
Oh, I think I remember that.
It went terribly wrong because we were doing something. I was going through the jungle and we were playing on the idea you get very sweaty when you're in the jungle. So armpits would gradually get sort of, you know, enlarged patches. And the guy who was working the thing would create the patches under the arms, just sort of pushed too hard, and gallons of water came down my shirt and down my trousers. So we had a great laugh with David after that. So that was incontinence on a grand scale.
Absolutely, from every single pore. Today is a special day. It would have been your anniversary today.
It would have been my 58th. Yeah.
Wow, 58 years. That would have been astonishing. I mean, it's nearly a year, and it must be hard, especially with this trip, because you'd be going home, and she's not there.
Yeah.
But do you still find yourself talking to her?
Yes.
Yeah, I would imagine, because of course you would.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking in an odd way for reassurance. You know,
Right.
she was terribly good at telling me the things I shouldn't do and the things that I should do. She was a very good judge of all that. She knew what I liked. She knew when I was happy working rather than, you know, sort of getting into something that wasn't right. So I do miss that, and I miss the jokes that we used to have together.
Yeah,
I mean, it's our anniversary. It would be our anniversary, 58th, and every anniversary we used to try and do something with increasing incredulity. You know, 50, then 52, 50. Oh, well, we've done everything. 54. Oh, forget it. So you know that humour I do miss a lot.
No, and you have that sort of, I don't know, there's that shorthand when you've been with somebody for such a long time, and it's that thing of you know I know you've got a great family. Loads and loads of friends, of course you have. You've got loads of people to do things with.
Yeah.
But there's that thing of the two of you could do nothing.
Yeah.
You just sit, you know, just be. You know,
I think that's it. And you've been. I mean, I knew Helen for 60 years.
Wow.
And no one else in my life I've known for such a long time. And during that time, you build up so many experiences, so many mutual experiences, and all that you just don't. You don't need to make a big thing of it. Very often, just a little glance would be enough.
Exactly, exactly. And amazing memories. And it still feels that she's with you. And work is great, isn't it? You know, being able to go on your travels. I know you'll be writing a book about Nigeria, doing your diaries, all of these things.
That's really important. Because I think, you know, you can't live in the past. You can't say everything's stopped now. I'm just going to live for the past.
Sure.
You've got to go on, and I'm lucky because I do get some work, and I get to go to, you know, around the world and be paid for it, which is terrific. And I want to continue to do that if I can.
Yes.
Because it puts you in touch with human life. It also gives me physical and mental energy.
Of course it does.
Which is really important for your morale. Otherwise,
it really is. But you've got that thing. I mean, I mentioned curiosity before, but you've got that in abundance. Because you're curious about the world. You want to find out more. And, you know, as you get older, probably you get more and more curious.
Gets me into terrible trouble, sometimes,
Well, it's good.
Especially with sweat pouring from the
And where's going to be next?
Well,
for goodness sake, is there anywhere that maybe the stands, all the, you know, Uzbekistan, you know, Turkestan, all these places?
As people used to say to me, anyway, you haven't been, Mark. I used to say Middlesbrough. But unfortunately, I've been to Middlesbrough. No, I don't mean, sorry, Middlesbrough. I don't mean unfortunately. I've now been to Middlesbrough.
Yes.
So I can't use that.
That joy has been...
Yeah, that particular joy.
Yes.
And a joy it was too. I think that you've got to see how the programme works. It'd be interesting to see how the series goes down. And from people's reaction, then you can decide whether you want to keep going or whether you should keep going. It's been positive so far. We'd love to do another journey. The crew are terrific. The photography is amazing. I'd go with this little group anywhere, really.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I can't wait to see where you go next.
Yeah.
For goodness sake.
Yes. I'll come and tell you.
Please do. You know you can come back
I'll bore you
here.
rigid.
No, you could never. You could never talk to you for hours and hours and hours. Michael Palin in Nigeria tonight, 9 o'clock on Channel 5. And there'll be the book soon, hopefully.
The book will be out. That's been put off till the end of the year.
I love your travel books. It is like you take us by the hand. It's fantastic.
I've got to do the books as well. You have to write. That's your own, out of your own head.
Yeah.
Rather than the...
Exactly.
The film.
And you can put so much more in there. Thank you so much for coming in.
No, it's a pleasure.
It's a joy.
It's always a real
Thank
joy.
you.
Yeah.
Right.